Hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. So in this video, we are going to understand how to automate rent collection for real estate industry. So do you also want to automate rent collection within few minutes? Then this video is definitely for you. So over here I want the same. So I'm running a real estate agency and I have the details of all my tenants in a single spreadsheet. So now what I want is that everyday system should look in that spreadsheet for the rent due people, and that tenant should receive an automated reminder on WhatsApp with the payment link generated with the help of Razorpay to complete their payment. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Google Sheets, Razorpay and Bati. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video, we are going to understand how to automate rent collection for real estate industry. So as you know that I manage rent collection for multiple properties at Lakeview Properties, and I want to set up an automation to ensure timely payments. So what I want is that every day the system should check my Google Sheet for the tenants with outstanding rent. For each tenant, it generates a new payment link via Razorpay and sends a reminder through WhatsApp. The workflow continues to run daily until the rent is paid, ensuring no payments are missed. Once the rent is settled, the payment status will be automatically updated in the Google Sheets as paid. So this automation saves time, ensure timely payments and reduce manual follow-ups. So to do all of this, I have simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we are going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But I am an existing user, so I am going to click on sign in right over here. And as soon as we are going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And as soon as we are going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which is create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and over here in my dashboard you can see all the folders that I have created. So if you wish to learn how to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can go on this hyperlink learn more given right over here. And now it is asking me for the workflow name. So I want the workflow name to be how to automate rent collection for real estate industry, and then we are going to click on create. And as soon as we are going to click on create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So by this you can understand that the trigger commands the workflow and the actions are response towards that same or that particular command. And to start with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So I'm going to select my trigger application as schedule right over here because I want to schedule this workflow every day until I receive the payment. So I'm going to search for schedule, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. It is a feature by Pabbly, and now it's asking me for the trigger event. So trigger event is the event on which the workflow starts. So I want to select the trigger event as schedule workflow, and as soon as we're going to do so, it is saying how often do you want to run this workflow. So I want to run this workflow every day, so I'm going to select every day, and now it is asking me for the time. So I'm going to select the time as 10 right over here. So I'm going to select it, and then we are going to click on save. And as soon as we are going to click on save, yes, you can see how often do you want to run this workflow every day, and over here is the time in Asia, Kolkata. So yes, with this we have successfully set it up our trigger, and now we are going to move on towards our action. So what I want is that over here you can see that this is my spreadsheet where I have details of all the tenants. So I want to look up in this spreadsheet for the due payment status. So for that I'm going to select my action application as Google Sheets right over here. So I'm going to search for Google Sheets, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. And now it is asking me for the action event, so I'm going to select it as over here you can see look up spreadsheet row 2. So I'm going to select it, and then we are going to click on connect. And as soon as we are going to do so, over here it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then we are going to click on sign in with Google. And now after clicking on sign in with Google, it is going to ask me for my Gmail account. So I'm going to select my Gmail account right from here. And after selecting my Gmail account, it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm going to click on allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow. Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we're going to do so, yes, you can see authorization successful. So this means that we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. So over here you can see the name of my spreadsheet is rent collection. So I'm going to select the same right over here, which is rent collection. And now it is asking me to select the sheet. So over here you can see that I have only a single sheet in my spreadsheet. So we are going to select the same only. And now it is asking me for the lookup value. So it is asking me what value it has to look up. So I want that Pabbly should look up for the due right over here. So I'm going to enter the lookup value as due. And now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the lookup column. So it is asking me in which column should we look for the lookup value. I want that in G column it should look for the lookup value. So I'm going to enter it as G right over here. And now it is asking me for the end column of data. So again we are going to keep it as D. So over here if you are going to look this value in 2 or 3 columns, then you can start with this and end it right over here. You have to enter this accordingly. And now it is asking me for more details. So it is saying lookup as date. So I'm going to keep it as no. It is saying use sheet headers as key in response. I'm going to keep it as yes. It is saying sort rows. I'm going to keep it as top. And after entering all the details, I'm just going to switch off this simple response because I want to get all the details of the due payments. So I'm going to switch off this, and then we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received all the due payment informations right over here. You can see the name, the last name, the email, the amount, the area, everything of the due payment ones. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this step. But as you can notice that the response received is in combined format. So we have to just divide it one by one so that we can map it further. So what we are going to do is we are going to add another action step right over here. So for my action application, I'm going to search for iterator. So iterator iterates or loops through all the rows one by one and execute all the below action multiple times based on the number of the items in the data or the array. So here, as I told you that we have received the combined response in the lookup, but I want to map it further. So for that we are going to use iterator right over here so that we can get every response one by one. So I'm going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to select it. It is a feature by Pabbly. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as process arrays, and then we are going to click on connect. And as soon as we are going to click on connect, it is asking me to choose the array. So we are going to choose the array from the response of our Google Sheets. Over here you can see the response. So we are going to select this, and now we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to do so, yes, you can see that we have received the details one by one. So first we have received the details of demo user. Over here you can see the area, you can see the email and the phone number, amount and the payment status. So yes, you can see that this was the first one right over here in my spreadsheet. So yes, one by one iterator will give us all the values and run the workflow. So now with this we have completed this step also. And now what I want is that with the help of the same details, I want to create a payment link in my Razorpay and send that payment link on WhatsApp to my tenant. So for my action application, I'm going to search for Razorpay right over here. And as you can see Razorpay, so I'm going to select it. And as soon as we are going to select this, it is asking me for the action event. So I'm going to select the action event as create payment link. And then we are going to click on connect. And as soon as we are going to do so, it is asking me to add a new connection or select the existing connection again. So if you have already connected your Razorpay account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. And now it is asking me for the key ID and key secret. So to get this, we are going to follow this help text, and it is saying navigate to the settings, API keys, generate key. So I'm going to open my Razorpay account right from here, and as you can see that this is my Razorpay account. So what we have to do is from the left sidebar, we have to go on accounts and settings, and after coming on the account settings, we have to look for API keys. And as you can see the same, so we are going to open this, and as soon as we are going to open this, you can see already a key ID generated right over here, but I'm going to generate a new. For that I'm going to click on regenerate test key right over here, and as soon as we are going to click on regenerate test key, it is giving me a OTP. So I'm going to enter the OTP, and after entering this OTP, I'm going to click on confirm. And as soon as we are going to click on confirm, it is saying confirm and deactivate the current key. So I'm going to keep it as deactivate old key in 24 hours, and then we are going to click on confirm and deactivate. And as soon as we are going to do so, yes, over here you can see the new key ID and the key secret. So I'm going to copy both of this, and then we are going to paste it right over here in our workflow. We are going to paste the key ID, and same we are going to do for the key secret. I'm going to copy it right from here, and then we are going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after doing both of this, I'm going to click on save. And as soon as we are going to click on save, yes, you can see that we have successfully connected connected our Razorpay account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the amount. So I'm going to map this amount. So mapping is a method by Pabbly, which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was these. So we are going to map the details from the response of these steps only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm going to give you an example. That over here it is asking me for the amount, right? So let's suppose that over here the amount for this is 5,000. So let's suppose that I'm going to enter 5,000 right over here manually. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if you're going to map this from the previous response, I'm going to open the iterator and as you can see amount. So let's suppose that we are going to map this from the previous response, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. But over here before moving forward, you can see that it is saying amount must be in the smallest unit of the currency. For example, if I want to keep the amount as 10, then I have to enter 1000 right over here. But over here I want to keep the amount as 5,000, so I have to enter 2 more zeros over here to keep the amount as 5,000. So over here we have entered 2 more zeros by typing because I want this to remain static with every amount. And after doing all of this, we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the currency. So over here you can see this is the list of supported currency. So I'm going to open this list. You can check for your currency right over here and enter there. So I'm going to keep it as INR only because I am over here in India and I want to keep it as the same. So I'm going to keep it as INR. We are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the type. So I'm going to keep it as link and now it is asking me for the description. So I want the description to be rent for. So over here now I'm going to map the area. So I'm going to look for it and as you can see new street, from the iterator we have to map the response and as you can see the same, so we are going to map it. So the description is rent for new street and now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the customer name. So I'm going to map the name of my tenant right over here. I'm going to search for name and as you can see first name, last name. So again we have to map this from the response of iterator. We are going to map the first name, put a space and then the last name. It is asking me for the email. So I'm going to map the email from the response of iterator only. We are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the contacts number. So I'm going to enter the contact number again by mapping it. It is saying view less. I'm going to keep it as show more. It is saying receipt. So I'm going to leave it as blank because as you can see that this is not the required field. It is saying reminder. So I'm going to keep it as true. It is saying expire. So you have to enter the expiry date right over here for the payment link. So I want that this payment link should expire in 23 hours of the payment link created. So for that we are going to add another action step right over here. So I'm going to scroll above and over here between iterator and Razorpay I'm going to click on this add action step button and now for the action application I'm going to select it as date time formatter. So it is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to format the date and time. So I'm going to select it and now for the action event we are going to select it as modify current date. So I'm going to select it and click on connect and as soon as we are going to click on connect it is asking me for the date format. So I'm going to select the date format as this. It is asking me for the time zones over here. I'm in India so I'm going to select it as Asia Kolkata. We're going to move on forward. It is asking me for the operations to perform. So I want to add 23 hours in this current date. So I'm going to keep it as add. It is saying units. So I'm going to keep it as hours. And now for the value, I'm going to keep it as 23. So what I've done is that I have to modify the current date. So for that, I'm going to add 23 hours in that current date. And now we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to do so, yes, you can see that this is the modified current date. And now we are going to use this same only for Razorpay, creating payment link. But over here, you can see that it is also saying that we have to enter the expiry date in timestamp format. So what we have to do is first we have to convert this into timestamp too. So for that, we are going to add another action step right after date time formatter before Razorpay right over here. And now again for the action application, I'm going to search for date time formatter. We are going to select it. For the action event, this time we are going to select it as format date only because I want to format the date and then we are going to click on connect. It is saying which date. So I'm going to map the date from the response of the date time formatter right over here. And now it is asking me for the from format. So I'm going to keep the from format, which is this. And now it is asking me for the to format. So I'm going to select it as timestamp right over here. So I'm going to look for it it, and as you can see, timestamp. So we are going to select it, and then we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to do so, yes, you can see the desired received. So now I'm going to map this same right over here in the expire, because I wanted to enter the expire link in the timestamp. So I'm going to open this expire, and from the response of date, time, formatter, format date only, we are going to map the result, which is expiry date in the timestamp format. So I'm going to map this. We are going to move on forward. It is saying SMS notify, so I'm going to select it as yes. So I want that the tenant should be notified on SMS, email, and I'm going to send a WhatsApp message too. So I'm going to keep it as yes. Razorpay sends the SMS. It is saying email notify, so I'm going to select it as Razorpay sends the email. It is saying partial payment, so I'm going to keep it as customer cannot make the partial payment. So customer has only to make the full payment of the rent. And now it is asking me for the callback URL. So as you can see, again, not a required field. I'm going to leave it as blank. It is saying callback method. So as you can see, I'm going to keep it as get, and then we are going to click on save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request right over here, Razorpay is going to generate a permanent payment link. And as you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully generated a payment link. So I'm going to look for the link, and as you can see, the short URL. So this is the link generated with the help of Razorpay. So I'm going to copy this link and open this link in a new tab to check this once. And as soon as we are going to open this, yes, you can see payment request from Ashi Rai. Over here you can see rent of the new street. You can see the expiry, and you can also see the amount payable. So yes, with this we have successfully generated this link, and now I'm going back to my workflow, and over here you can see that we have successfully generated this link. And now what I want is I want to send this link to my tenant on WhatsApp. For that I'm going to add another action step right over here, and we're going to send an automated WhatsApp message. And now for the action application, we are going to select it as Vati. So over here I'm going to use Vati to send WhatsApp messages. If you want, you can definitely use AI Sensi, or if you want, you can definitely use WhatsApp Cloud API too. So I'm going to look for Vati, and then we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as send template message, and then we are going to click on connect right over here. And as soon as we are going to do so, again you can see that it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your Vati account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the API endpoint and the access token. So to get this, we are going to follow the help text, and it is saying navigate to the top of your Vati dashboard, click on the hamburger icon, and then click on the API docs to find your endpoint. And same goes for access token too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Vati account right from here. And as you can see that this is my Vati account. So from here we have to go on this API docs, and as you can see the same, so we are going to go on this, and as soon as we are going to open the API docs, you can see the access token and the API endpoint. So we are going to copy both of this, and then we are going to paste it right over here in our workflow. We are going to paste the API endpoint, and same we are going to do for the access token too. I'm going to paste it right over here, and then we are going to click on save. And as soon as we are going to click on save right over here, you can see that we have successfully connected our Vati account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is asking me for the WhatsApp number I want to send the message to. So I'm going to map the number of my tenant right over here. So I'm going to look for it, and as you can see the same, so we are going to map it. We are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the template. So to let you know more about this template, I'm going to open my Vati account, and over here you can see all the templates that I've previously created in my account. So if you wish, you can definitely create a new template too. You can go on this new template message button right over here. You can give the template name, the category, the language. You can add variables and the template message, and you can create your own template message. But I've already created one, which is Lakeview Properties, as you can see this. So I'm going to select the same right over here, which is Lakeview Properties. And now it is asking me for the broadcast name. So I'm going to keep the broadcast name as rent due. So I'm going to enter it right over here. We are going to move on forward. It is saying custom parameters. So you must be wondering, what is this custom parameters? So we're here to let you know this. Again, I'm going to open my template, and as you can see that this is my template, and you can also notice that there is this name, area, and link in curly brackets. You must be wondering why, because these are custom parameters right over here. These will change with every new message sent. So I want that this name should be changed with the name of the tenant, the area should be changed with the area dedicated to a tenant, and the link should be changed with the link which we created just now. You can see a sample message right over here in the right side, which we are going to send to our tenant. So I'm going to open my workflow again, and now it is saying custom parameters. So we are going to map all of these details right over here one by one. run. So first it is saying this, so I'm going to copy this example right from below, and then we're going to paste it right over here. And after pasting this, it is asking me for the name of the custom parameter. So the name of my first custom parameter is name only, so I'm going to enter name right over here. And now it is asking me for the value of that name, which is demo user. So I'm going to map this from the previous response. I'm going to search for it, and as you can see, demo user. So we are going to map this, and again you have to keep in mind that we have to map this from the response of iterator. We have to map the first name, put a space, and then the last name. And now it is saying that the custom parameter name is name, and the value for that same custom parameter is demo user. Now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the name of the second custom parameter. So over here you can see that it is area, so I'm going to enter area right over here. I'm going to erase this company and enter area right over here. And now it is asking me for the value of the same, so I'm going to enter the value. For that I'm going to look for area, and as you can see, new street, so we are going to map this. We are going to move on forward, and now we have to enter the link too. So again we are going to copy this right from below. We are going to paste it over here above, and now it is asking me for the name of the third custom parameter. So over here for the name of the third custom parameter is link, so I'm going to enter link right over here. It is saying value of that particular custom parameter, so we're going to map the value from this response, which is Razorpay create payment link. And now we're going to look for the URL, and as you can see the URL, so we are going to map this. And after mapping all of these three custom parameters, I'm going to click on save and send test request button. But before clicking on save and send test request, I'll just let you know that this phone number which I've entered is a dummy phone number. So I'm going to replace this phone number with the original phone number, and then we are going to click on save and send test request so that I can show you the response received. So now after replacing this WhatsApp number, I'm going to click on save and send test request button right over here. And as soon as we are going to click on save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received another positive response that we have successfully sent an automated WhatsApp message to this number for the payment due. So I'm going to open my WhatsApp and check for the response received. So I'm going to open my WhatsApp right from here. And yes, you can see the WhatsApp message received. You can see, hi demo user, this is a friendly reminder for your rent for new street is due. To make your payment, simply click the link below, and over here you can see the same link which we generated with the help of Razorpay. So I'm going to open this link, and yes, you can see the same link. So I'm just going to close this right from here, and we're going to open our WhatsApp again, and it is saying, please note that the link will expire in 23 hours. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to contact us. Thank you for your prompt payment. Regards, Lakeview Properties. So yes, with this we have successfully sent an automated WhatsApp message with the link to our tenant whose payment was due, and with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now I've also created another workflow. I'm just going to show you it. So here you can see my another workflow which is created, which is how to automate rent collection for real estate industry too. So over here what I have done is that as soon as someone pays, like over here I've sent them a payment link to my tenant, right? So let's suppose that they do the payment and they successfully complete the payment. So what will happen is the payment will be captured in the Razorpay, and again we are going to look up in the Google Sheets for the number by which the payment has been made. So let's suppose the payment is made for demo user. Right over here you can see the result. So we're going to enter the lookup value for the same and all the things, and now we're going to look up for the same number, and as you can see the details received. And now with the help of the same details only, we are going to update a cell value in Google Sheets from payment due to payment paid. As you can see that over here we have done from payment due to payment paid. So yes, I've also created this workflow in the back end because I want to run this workflow every day, and I want this workflow should run till the payment is paid for everyone right over here in my tenants. So what I want is that every day system will look in my spreadsheet for the payment due, and we are going to send payment due reminders to our tenants right from here using their details. And also we are going to generate a personalized payment link for all, and that payment link will expire in 23 hours. And also if the tenant completes their rent payment, another workflow will start, and over here again system will look up for the number of that same tenant, and with the help of the same number we are going to update the payment status from due to paid. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and over here you can see the automated WhatsApp message which we sent to our tenant with the help of our workflow. And yes, this was it for the video, and I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. So for the trigger application we selected schedule by Pabbly because I wanted to run this workflow every day. For the action application we selected Google Sheets, iterator, date time formatter by Pabbly, again date time formatter, Razorpay and Vati. because I wanted to create a payment link for my tenant which should be personalized, and I want to send that payment link to my tenant on WhatsApp. That's why I did all of this. And also, not only on WhatsApp, we are notifying the tenants on SMS and Gmail too. And we are also running another workflow in backend if the payment is successful for the same tenant. So I'm going to attach both of these workflow links in the description box. And if you want a dedicated video for this part 2, which is how to automate rent collection after the payment has been made, I'll make one video for this too and attach the link of that video in the description box. And yes, this was it for the video. And if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for a reference, I'll just clone both of these workflows and attach the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you, and now you can automate the rent collection in minutes. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.